Adobe Premiere Rush allows you to easily edit video on multiple devices and then output directly for social media. Let's begin by creating a brand new project. After launching Rush, you'll see a blue button called Create a New Project. You simply click on that to get started. I'm working on a desktop, but you can also start a new project using the plus sign at the bottom of the application on a mobile device. After clicking Create New Project, the media browser appears. This is where you select media you want to import into the project. But before adding media, let's name this project. On the lower left, you'll see the word Untitled next to the project name field. Select that field and give the project a name. This is an important step so you don't end up with a lot of untitled projects. I'll name my project Surfing and press Return. Since I'm already down in the lower left corner of the application, I just wanted to point out that I've placed a check mark next to Sync with Creative Cloud. That's automatically saving a backup of this project to the cloud. If you want to turn that off, you'll just be saving the project locally. I'd also like you to notice there are two buttons to the left of the Sync button. The filter, which allows you to search for video, audio, or images only, and then there's the sort button, which allows you to sort items by name and date created. So let's go back to the media browser and I'll show you how to add footage to your project. I've downloaded some Adobe stock footage and saved it to my local movie folder. That's living here on my computer. I can also import footage from the cloud. And if I wanted to, I could come back down to the lower left and put a check mark to copy that cloud media onto this local device. I'd like to view these movie clips by the date they were shot. I'll go back to the Sort button and choose Date Created. Now I'll return to my movie clips and hover the cursor over the thumbnails to preview the content. I'll click the clips in the order I want them to appear in my sequence. I'd like to edit this piece to music. So I'll go back over to the local area of my media browser, select the music folder, and then navigate to the music file I want to choose. After you press Create, you'll see text that says Preparing Media as Rush optimizes the clips for playback. The clips you clicked on are added to a sequence in the order you selected them, so you're already story building. Adobe Rush sets the video frame aspect ratio based on the media you import. But you can change the frame orientation from landscape to portrait or square right here in the Edit panel by choosing Orientation from the Playback and Sequence Options menu button. You can use the Home button to return to the project browser and create another new project. From here, press the three dots at the bottom right of the project icon to turn cloud syncing on and off, or to delete or rename your projects. I'll click on this project to return to the editing panel and keep working. So that's how you create a new project in Adobe Premiere Rush. Now you can add more media, reorder clips, and continue editing your project from your computer, tablet, or mobile phone. The preview monitor in Adobe Rush allows you to view your sequence and helps you evaluate what you're creating. Let's play with the preview monitor options. Grab the blue control button immediately below the monitor image and drag it to the right. The playhead location in the timeline also moves as you drag. Notice that the timecode location of the playhead shows at the bottom left corner of the image, so you can keep track of where you are in the story. Right next to that, you'll see the current duration of the program you're making. You can use the standard playback control buttons directly below the image to play the sequence, move the playhead a single frame forward or backward, and to make the playhead jump to the previous or next clip edit points. But I prefer to use the spacebar to start and stop playback, and I use the arrow keys on my keyboard to move the playhead. Hold your cursor over the playback controls for a moment, and tooltips will pop up to show you the keyboard shortcuts. There's a button on the right, just above the timeline, that allows you to adjust the preview monitor size, but it's even easier to use the full screen button to make the image fill your screen. Just press the full screen button again and the timeline will pop back into view. The loop playback button does just what you'd expect. And looping playback is helpful when previewing content destined for social media channels like Instagram that feature auto looping. More playback and sequence options are available at the lower right corner of the preview monitor image. Press the three dots to change your frame orientation and playback quality. Frame orientation simply refers to the height and width of your image. You can switch between landscape, portrait, and square. The preview quality setting can improve or reduce performance on your device. Higher playback quality requires a more powerful computer, so play around with this setting to discover what works best for you. The preview monitor in Rush is designed to help you view the video you're creating. Familiarize yourself with its features and adjust as needed to optimize performance while making movies. I'd like to show you some preferences you can set in Adobe Premiere Rush to improve performance while you work and help you control your media. I'm currently using a Mac, so I'll use the Rush CC menu at the upper left of the application to open preferences. On a PC, you'd find it under the Edit menu. On a mobile phone or a pad, there's a gear icon in the upper left where you can access preferences. This panel starts off with an important question. Where do you want to store your media? You can click the Choose button to designate where media is saved on import. Navigate to the location on your device where you want assets to be stored. I'm currently allowing my media to be imported to the default location in my User Home Documents folder, so I know I can find those files there inside the Adobe Rush folder. You can change this location, but you might want to note the default location where media you've already imported has been saved. The drop-down menus in the center of the panel let you choose inputs and outputs for audio. You might just be using the built-in input and output, but if you have audio devices connected, they'll show up in this menu. I like to check the box to pre-render parts of the sequence in the background while I'm working, which improves playback on less powerful systems. If you experience any problems during playback, just open Preferences and change this option. When you're working in Rush, some video frames are cached to optimize clip playback. Cache files are just images that are stored temporarily for faster previewing. Clearing the cache files from time to time will free up some space on your device and improve your playback performance. Because the Preferences panel in Rush allows you to control where your media is saved when it's imported and allows you to choose audio input and output settings, it's important to take a look and make sure these settings work for you. Adjust preferences to suit your needs, and make sure to occasionally clear cache files to keep the application running smoothly. When you add media to a Rush project, you can preview your footage and choose just the best part of each clip to put in the sequence. Whether you're importing new footage or adding clips to an existing sequence from your project panel, the preview window lets you refine your edit selections and gives you more control over your content. If you're importing footage from the media browser for a brand new project, you can access the full-size preview window by pressing the preview icon at the bottom right of any clip. You can see this clip has about a 20-second duration. Of course, you can press play to preview the clip, but what's really cool about this panel is it allows you to drag the edges of the clip in the timeline area of the preview window to select start and end points for the clip before you add it to a sequence. You can see that the duration of this clip has been updated. The new duration of this clip is about 6 seconds. The plus button at the bottom right of the image allows you to select this clip for import, and just the selected portion will be added to your sequence. You can press this button again to deselect the clip. From the playback control, you can select the next or previous clip from the media browser and continue to mark segments for each clip you want to import. In addition to dragging to set in and out points, I like to use the keyboard shortcuts I and O. I'll start playback by using the spacebar on my keyboard. Then I'll press I and O to set the in and out points for this clip. You can drag the playhead to scrub through a clip and use playback controls to move the playhead forward or backward one frame at a time to increase precision before pressing I or O. I'll move the playhead by one frame and then press O again to update my selected range. Now I'll add this section of the clip to my selection. At the upper right of the full screen preview image, there's a button that takes you back to grid view so you can see which clips are selected in the media browser. Rush arranges clips you've marked and selected at the bottom of the screen like a storyboard, so you can see how the media is going to be assembled in the timeline before you press Create. After you've created a sequence inside a Rush project, you can continue to use the preview window to trim additional clips you import from the media browser, and to adjust clips that are already living inside your project panel. I'll click the box icon to take a look at this project's assets. There's a section of a clip I'd like to add to my current sequence, but that clip isn't in the project yet, so I'll press the Add Media button. Now I'll expand the preview window from the bottom right of this clip's thumbnail and drag on the clip's in and out points to select the best action. I'll press the plus sign to select this clip for import into the project. Then when I press Add, the selected clip will be imported and placed in the sequence just to the right of the currently selected shot in my timeline. You can also adjust clips that are already living in the project panel. I'll return to the project panel, then press the three dots at the bottom of the image thumbnail and choose Open to preview this clip. Notice that even though I trimmed it before importing, the entire duration of the original clip is always available in the project panel. I'll move through this project's assets using the Next and Previous buttons in the clip preview window and continue to mark durations for all the clips I want to trim. I'll return to Grid View and select a couple of these trimmed clips to put in the sequence. Now I'll press the blue Add button and all the trimmed clips that were selected are placed in the timeline. Rush makes it really easy to preview and select the best content for your sequence. Use the preview window to watch your footage and mark the best segments. You can save time by adding several marked clips to a sequence all at once with just one click. When you're working on a Rush project, you might want to add some new content. Let's take a look at how you can do that. Clicking on an existing project from the home screen will take you to the editing workspace. From here, you can access the Project Assets panel by clicking on the box icon. Now you can see all your existing media and sequences inside this project. Just like in the media browser, the Project Assets panel has Sort and Filter buttons, so you can view this project's audio, video, or both. If you want to add new shots to this project, you can return to the media browser and select more clips. Simply click on the Add Media button. It's a blue circle with a plus sign. Now you'll see a pop-up that lets you add new media to the project. I'd like to add more video clips, so I'll select the Media button. In the pop-up menu at the top of the screen, you can see Rush has stored a few of the locations where I've recently searched for media. I'll select Media Browser from this list. From here, I can import footage from my local device or from the cloud, but since I plan to bring in more footage again later on, I'd like to show you how I save a favorite media location. On my desktop, I have a folder called Rush Media. I'll navigate to that folder, select it, come back up to the pop-up, and click the star to add this as a favorite. Back in the media browser, inside my Movies folder, I have a folder full of surf footage. Since I plan to download more content to that folder, I'll also save that as a favorite location. Any folder that contains footage you access frequently, you should save as a favorite. Saving favorite media locations makes it faster to access additional footage while you're editing. You can remove a favorite by selecting it and clicking on the star a second time. Finally, I'll bring more footage into this project by clicking on the clips I want to add in the order I'd like them to go into the sequence. Before pressing the Add button, I'll double-check my sequence to see which clip is selected, because once I press Add, these clips will be placed immediately following the selected clip in the timeline. They'll also be imported into the Project Assets panel. I'm not certain I want these clips in this location in my timeline, so I'll press Command-Z or choose Undo from the Edit menu, and those clips will be removed from the sequence. They do still live in the Project Assets panel, so I can make decisions about what I want to do with each individual clip. Selecting Redo from the Edit menu or pressing Shift-Command-Z will bring those clips right back into the sequence. So that's how you can add more clips to a project in Adobe Rush. Remember to save favorite media locations to quickly access your assets, and select clips in the order you want them to be added to your sequence before pressing the blue Add button.